Slalom for beginners, level 6. This level is how to run a slalom course with two hands on the handle. If you followed all the previous levels, then this is a step up and should be attainable for you. For those that have run the course before and are even to short line, it's a great exercise to do on days when perhaps the weather's not so good. So let's just follow this particular pass. The idea here is to step up from level 4 and 5 is that we need some more intensity. We need intensity here driving into the wake. We need to be more definite about the turning edge. And we need to get our timing right to go around the buoys. So let's go back again and look at this in more detail because there are some nuances. What I would suggest is that we start by, rather than running the gate, is maybe just pull out to buoy 1 and then let's make life easy for ourselves. Let's actually try and get as close as we can to buoy 1 for the first turn. And that turn, as we know, is you're free of the boat, raise your arms, drop your left hip. It's the hip that causes the ski to turn. Engage that power triangle as before in every other level that we've done. Engage that right arm against your vest and lock that in, okay? Until we go through the wake, change edge. You're still locked in, your elbows are still close to your vest, but now you have to raise your arms up. And the reason we're raising our arms up is in order to control the deceleration. So when we get to the buoy, you can then turn the buoy by dropping your hip. Again, my criticism of myself here is that my shoulders are actually quite tilted. I would far prefer my shoulders to be level and to have more of a kind of curve in my body, so it would be easier for you to see that my hip has moved in this direction. But in essence, that's what's happening. In order to turn, I am dropping my hip in this position here, and that I'm moving where I want to go, and the ski is going to follow me in that direction, exactly as it does here. Okay, and what I've done is I've engaged at this point here. As I come round, before the boat pulls me, I've got my left elbow engaged so that when the rope goes tight, as it does about here, I'm ready to actually take my body, which is lying in this position, and move it into that position as we go through the wake, whilst bringing the ski underneath. We talked about this in the previous levels, so you can see that what happens is ski comes from behind me, through the wake, it's right underneath me, to the other side and onto the cutting edge. So the difference between this particular level and level before is that we're now gaining enough speed and momentum to get out behind the boat, to get out to the buoy, and that speed comes from here, this point here, where we've engaged the back of the arm that's come onto the handle. The arm that's coming onto the handle has engaged our lower chest. The rope's gone tight and the boat is pulling us. And what we're going to do is we're going to let that pull us, and we're going to decide, really, we have to decide how far we're going to lean away, because the further that we lean away in that direction over the edge of the ski, then the more the ski is going to be rolled over against the boat, and the more pressure is going to be there, and the more the boat is then going to pull against us and ultimately accelerate us in this direction. So we have to make that decision. And having made that decision, you just have to hold on. From all the previous levels, your chest is up, your shoulders are back, your elbows are on the side of your vest, so that as the boat pulls you, you can deal with that. It's really not a problem. It's a question of, how hard do I want to go? And the wake is irrelevant because you're in a strong position. And as you get to the wake, you can see elbows still connected, and crucially, as you land on the other side, you're on that inside turning edge. This is really critical. The more effort you put into gaining speed here, the more you have to focus on having a definite edge change here. If you accelerate here and don't allow that edge to change, and find yourself still on the cutting edge out here, you're going to sail past the buoy, or you're going to have to hook the turn, and it's going to be very unpleasant. So we want lots of speed here, lots of acceleration, and we have to couple that up with a definite change onto this side, and you use the connection of your elbows and on the side of your vest. That connection will actually allow the ski to move underneath you. Okay, having done that, then just hang on, and now you're on the inside edge, you need to slow down, so you lift your arms up. Your arms up allows you to decelerate on that inside edge, and when you decide is the right time, you then do as before, drop the hip in, and then try and connect that elbow before the boat starts to pull you. If you do this after the boat's got you, you don't stand a chance of getting connected again. Okay, so the boat, now I've got those connected, and the boat's going to start to pull me. Always pulls at the same point, and that pull point is going to be about here. It's going to be about a metre or so outside the white water. You could even use the white water as your point. So basically from the turn to about here, all you're trying to do is get everything in the right position. You're trying to get your chest up. Again, as I said before, my criticism of myself here is that my shoulders are a bit tilted. I would prefer them to be more level. So you're trying to keep your shoulders level, you're trying to get your elbow connected, you're trying to get your hip in, and you're trying to do that. The timing is irrelevant. You're trying to do that so that you can move in to the wake to this point here where the boat's got you, and be in a good position to hold that pull and dictate how far you lean away to create speed. Okay? And you'll know just from the feeling of the speed that you've created, you've done that, and it's like, okay, I've created that speed, now what? Well, now you hold that position and you move the ski through from behind you here to underneath you here to in front of you over here onto the cutting edge, and you maintain that connection between your elbows in order for the ski to move underneath. Okay? And like I said, the faster you've done it on one side, the more definite you have to be about that position on the other. And then you raise your arms in order to slow yourself down. You stand on the front foot, so you're balanced. Again, let's think about level 1, level 2. You've got to be balanced on the ski, chest up. And then as you get to the buoy, you decide ahead of time, let's drop the hip in. As your hip drops in, you then connect that outside shoulder and wait. And it's a really nice feeling, because you've connected the shoulder, you've got the hip in, and basically you're just moving in the direction of travel towards the center of the wake until the point at which the boat pulls you. And when the boat does pull you, which is going to be here, you're in the right position now to accelerate. And then, like I said before, it's up to you. How far do I lean away? If you just hold position, there'll be a minimum acceleration. If you lean over the edge of the ski, you're going to find yourself accelerating that much faster. And then the faster you accelerate there, the more definite you have to be about bringing the ski through and really getting it onto that inside edge whilst your elbows are connected. Let the ski move underneath you. And you'll have plenty of speed to get out to the buoy. And the decision now is, okay, how do I turn? And you raise your arms, keep those shoulders square, keep your chest, keep your shoulders level, keep the chest facing down course. This is why this is such a good exercise for people that are already running the course, in that if you know how to run the course and you go and do this exercise, this forces you to keep your chest open to the course, and it forces you to keep that shoulder back. Yeah, and there we go, and that's it run. So give that a go, see how you get on, and once you've done that, then what we can start to look at is the next level, which is going to be how to let go with one hand. And letting go with one hand is really just as the speed increases, we need to work out a way of being able to maintain our body position without letting the boat pull us into the wrong direction. But we'll see that in level 7. Okay.